Hello, and welcome to another episode of Broadcast Movie and TV Talk. I am back with another movie discussion on another DC animated movie. I'd suggest getting used to me talking about DC animated movies because there's a lot of them, and they're nice and short and make for great video topics, given that a lot of other bigger movies is still a little difficult to see despite how much I'd love to go see something like The Batman. Anyway, as I said in my last video I did on Justice League Dark, I'm going to be talking about its sequel, Justice League Dark: Apokolips War. Remember, there will be spoilers. The movie begins with a quote, followed by Constantine and Zatanna waking up in a thing floating in space. Yes, this picks up from the last movie with Zatanna and Constantine officially joining the Justice League. We then go to a meeting with all members of the Justice League and the Teen Titans discussing Darkseid being a very, very large threat and wanting to lead an assault on Apokolips and destroy him outright, and Superman is the one wanting it. The other members think it's a bad idea, but Superman doesn't open the floor to discussion, rather having Wonder Woman step in to talk about the battle plan. While she is doing that, they show through Cyborg's red eye Darkseid sitting atop his throne, and I think implying that Cyborg is relaying their plan to Darkseid, but I'm not quite sure why he would do that at this stage, or if that's actually what's happening, or if Darkseid is seeing this through Cyborg. I don't really know how or what's going on. The Justice League get into their ships and go to Apokolips, and when they arrive, a large force of big creatures that they were not expecting attack, and then we cut to the opening credits. After that, we jump to 2 years later, and Earth is pretty fucked, with parademons floating around. We go to a pub where Constantine and Etrigan are drinking. Well, Constantine is, but Etrigan is just kind of laying there looking passed out, but he's not. Clark and Raven show up, wanting to enlist the help of Constantine, but then some parademons attack. Clark can't do anything because Darkseid put liquid kryptonite on his chest, so he's no longer a threat. Very smart of Darkseid. Constantine and Etrigan agree to help Raven and him, and they all go back to the House of Magic. This is where Clark explains, and we get to see why their assault on Darkseid failed, because it was like Darkseid knew their whole plan. I wonder how that happened. Several Justice League members died, some were taken and tortured, like Batman and Superman. And we see that Zatanna was killed and Constantine kind of just ran away, and he himself doesn't know why he just ran away. Clark tells Constantine that he needs to find Damian Wayne, so Constantine uses a locating spell, but Raven just uses her own powers to teleport them all to where Damian is. There's a small fight that breaks out, but Damian stops everyone from fighting. He is, understandably, not happy about seeing Clark, but then Raven collapses. Raven is having a bad struggle against Trigon constantly, and her powers are getting weaker. Anyway, Damian explains to our group, especially to Clark, about what his actions did to him and the Teen Titans. We get a scene of them fighting Darkseid's minions, which are the ones from earlier in the movie, and they tell us that they are not just parademons, but they're parademons mixed with Kryptonian blood, like Doomsday, so they call them Paradooms. And that makes them really strong. Anyway, in the flashback, we see Nightwing get killed, as well as like a slain Starfire, and I think you get the picture. It was bad. This is a point in the movie where they decide to get a team together, so they go to this underground boxing match where Lois Lane is in the ring with Harley Quinn, and Lois Lane actually beats her. Also, Constantine runs into King Shark, who he identifies as his ex, which is kind of funny. Anyway, they need a group of people to help them get into Lex Luthor's tower, because it's the only way to get to Apokolips, because that's where the only boom tube is. They assemble two groups and go in for the attack. I can't emphasize that they literally will bring anyone and everyone. I mean, they have Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Cheetah, Bane, Black Manta, pretty much anyone and everyone. I forgot to mention that what Darkseid did to Batman is he makes him like his second in command, and then Lex Luthor works under Batman, but is secretly feeding information to Lois as a double agent, which we're told about when they encounter Lex in a mech suit, but easily deal with that. Lex gives our team the tools they need to deal with the Paradooms, as they're calling them. Clark gets a robot suit, and Damian gets a kryptonite sword. They boom tomb to Apokolips and are met with the resistance in the form of Justice League and Teen Titans members that they thought were dead from their assault, but it seems the Darkseid outfitted them with cyborg parts. There is a big fight, but they focus the fight between Wonder Woman and Etrigan, which ends with Etrigan getting killed. Constantine is able to use magic and the lasso of truth on Wonder Woman to get her to break free of Darkseid's control, so she holds off the others that are still under his control. Now I'm going to speed run this next bit. They find the Flash just running on this treadmill, and he's like powering all of whatever Darkseid's doing. Clark stops it, and then they use Constantine to use a spell to get Flash to go to sleep. Just sleep, he's not dead, but just sleep. Then they find Cyborg, in which Constantine uses a spell to get him back to normal, but he's integrated into Darkseid's planet, so he can't leave, but he can still help them. This also causes the other Justice League and Teen Titans members that were under the control of Darkseid to no longer be under the control of Darkseid. They reach Darkseid and also evil Batman. A fight between Batman and Damian breaks out, and Batman almost kills Damian, but then he remembers his parents' death and then throws the kryptonite sword into the eye of Darkseid, which causes him to laser eye at Batman, but Damian takes the blow. This causes Raven to lose control, which brings Trigon out. Constantine tries to offer help to... Constantine tries to make a deal with Trigon, but then Trigon just takes over Clark's body, so now Trigon in Clark's body fights Darkseid, and also Trigon just kills Constantine. Just a snap of the neck, done. But not really, because Raven gets super pissed and uses her powers to bring Constantine and Damian back from the dead for some reason. And, oh, now she's in a white outfit, because reasons. Batman uses Lois Lane's last message before dying to kick Trigon out and bring Superman back to normal. They come up with a plan to let Trigon distract Darkseid so everyone can escape, and that's what happens. The only one that stays is Cyborg, because he's integrated into Apokolips, and so yeah, Trigon fights Darkseid and the remaining heroes escape, and then the planet blows up. The movie ends with everyone realizing that they need Flash to do a flashpoint because the world is just messed up. They only the planet core only has 31% of its magma because they were shipping Earth's magma to Apokolips. And that's what Flash does. He runs and there's this bright white light, and then the movie ends. We don't get to see what or where Flash runs to, which is fine. So what did I personally think of Justice League Dark, Apokolips War? Well, there's a lot that I like here. Going from the previous movie to this movie, I'm very glad that not only is more of the Justice League included in this, but some of the Teen Titans. I've not seen Raven in anything like this since I've watched the original Teen Titans show many years ago. It was nice seeing Raven admit that she loves Damian, though I'm not sure if that's the same Robin from the Teen Titans show. I don't think it is. I loved how they kept showing Raven's constant internal battle with her dad, with that spilling over into Trigon eventually getting loose. It was really cool, though, seeing Trigon and Darkseid battle each other, because that's not something I thought I would ever get to see in any kind of DC movie. Constantine's role felt like a natural progression from the previous movie. They did a fantastic job showing how powerful Darkseid and Trigon are, and I mean, they are really powerful. Holy crap. There are only two issues I have with this movie. First is with Superman. It feels really out of character for Superman to just force the Justice League to lead an assault on Darkseid and not even listening to what the other members have to say, even though they were the ones that told him that doing this plan will paint a huge target on Earth. Like, look, I get it. Darkseid is super evil, and he deserves to die. And Constantine pretty much tells Superman this in the movie. And yet Superman will not listen to anyone. It just seems so out of character for Superman, of all people, to make such a rash decision. Sure, he says he understands what the consequences are, but he doesn't care. That's not Superman, if you ask me. Why do you think people nickname him Boy Scout? I understand that there's different takes on Superman throughout the thousands of comic books that he is in, but the Superman in this movie just doesn't sit right with me. He makes such a rash decision that results in tons of devastation and people hating him. Damian and Constantine are actually the only two that outright say that they kind of don't like Clark now after, what happens before the 2-year time skip it and all that. I really don't think Superman deserved redemption in this movie because he shouldn't have made such a terrible decision in the first place. Second thing I didn't like was the ending. I don't like them using Flash as just a do-over. These characters go through all this really messed up stuff, and a lot of Earth's population is dead. So of course the answer is just to have Flash make everything fine and reset everything. I don't know. It kind of feels like that none of what these characters just went through even matters. Like Batman says Earth is screwed and more people will die without any real scientific stuff to know how screwed Earth is, and Batman just says that the Justice League lost, which is like, I just don't like how they did that. I mean, they beat Darkseid anyway. And then they just use Flash to reset everything. But, I mean, I am glad that it just goes to white and ends the movie without showing where Flash may end up. But still, it just feels awfully convenient that they can just reset after something really bad happens. Justice League Dark, Apokolips War is a good and enjoyable movie. That's all I have to say, so if you want to add to the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.